In a previous video we fitted the Wisbech V4 intake, which sounds fantastic. Unfortunately it still has that stock blow off valve noise with the whoosh, which I don't like. I'd rather have more flutter. So in this video, in order to get that flutter, we're going to fit a GFB DV+. Let's get started. Just got to remove the driver's side wheel and arch lining. So with the front arch liner off, then just above the drive shaft you can see a little black circle there. Just behind those hoses, that is the factory diverter valve that we'll be replacing today. It is very fiddly to get to. There is this little plastic sort of shroud thing here that you can take off, which will give us more access, but it is just going to be a fiddly job. Before we get this off, just got to make a modification to a tool, which I'll show you now, and then we can get started. Right, so to the tool modification, what you're going to need to do is get yourself, or you can buy a single one if you want to, but I got a set of Allen keys here, but with the ball end. The reason is you're going in at such an angle into the diverter valve to get to the bolts that the Allen key is definitely not going to be straight, so you need the ball connection at the end just to make sure you don't round off the bolts. What you want to do is grab your 5mm and you want to just cut it right there so that it's flat and you can get it onto a socket like so. So the reason you cut it off flat is just so you can put a 5mm onto the end nice and tight, and then what you can do is use a load of extensions and then a ratchet to get the bolts out, as obviously, like I said, they're in a very awkward position to get to. This is what you need to make. Once you've done this, you can go head over to the car and start taking the bolts out. Just another quick modification you want to do to the 5mm Allen key. Pretty much just at the end you want to file that down so it's smooth. Take off the square edges just because it does rest along the drive shaft bracket, and once it's in the bolt and this is turning like that, it jumps almost and then knocks it out of the bolt head. So that helped massively, makes it nice and smooth to get out, so you definitely want to try that. So now that we're under the car, the first step to do is just try and get this out of the way. So it's just an electrical connector and a vacuum hose. Take those two off and then it can be pushed right up to the side, and then you can get more access to the diverter valve. Like I said, then it's just one plug to undo by pushing the clip in and pulling them apart. Once the plug is out the way, there's just one small hose clamp holding the vac line on. Once it's off, the line just pulls off and they can both be moved out the way. Next up is the vac line on the stock Recirc valve. I used a pair of pliers just to loosen it, as I don't think mine had ever been off. Then just popped it off with a flathead screwdriver. So now that everything is disconnected, as you can see there, I've got the Allen key already in the top right corner bolt. There is three, sort of one in each corner. The one of them is just at the bottom there above that bracket. I did have to hammer the Allen key into this top one just to make sure it's got a good connection on the ball. Once we can get those loose, the diverter valve should come out. Just thought I'd quickly show you the tools I'm going to use to access the bolts. So we've got a ratchet going into an extension, and then another longer extension going into an adapter down to a smaller diameter swivel, another extension, and then the 5mm socket that then goes into the Allen key, but I have just left it hammered into one of the bolts just so I don't lose it. And then with the bottom bolt, because there's a bit more in the way and it's harder to get to, I do then use a smaller ratchet which helps with access, just doing it behind the strut. With them all cracked loose, I'll try my best to show you getting them out, and then we can get fitting the new one. Starting with the top right corner bolt, I fed the socket through the curve in the brake line and onto the Allen key. Once I had a good connection, I slowly but surely wound the bolt out, making sure the Allen key stays securely in the bolt head. With it loosened all the way out, try not to drop it like I did, as you'll be reusing them. I then tackled the bottom bolt, which I think is the hardest to get out. With only small turns of the ratchet due to the space, I managed to get the bolt loose, but due to the position of it, I couldn't pull it out completely, so I left it in there until the Recirc valve was ready to come out. And finally, the top left bolt can be taken out. I would say this is the easiest one to take out, as the angle is much easier to work with. Again, very small turns with the ratchet, but once it's loose enough, I did the rest by hand. I made sure I didn't drop another bolt, and with all three bolts out, I could remove the stock Recirc valve. So with the stock diverter valve out, you can see it does come in two pieces. That just slots on there like that. but it's not attached, so it will come out pretty much in two. And then you've got this plate over the top, just like that. That is just to hold your boost solenoid, which is the plug that I undid at the very beginning. Mine wasn't even attached to this anyway, it was just hanging, so I'm probably not even going to put that back on because it is just more of a faff. So throw that to the side, throw the old diverter valve to the side, and bring on the new one. So opening the GFB box, get a nice sticker and all your parts there. Now this is really helpful. So this is the instructions. It's just a PDF file that you can scan and open it up on your phone, and they are really in detailed. I've already had a look at them. Here's what you get. So you get obviously your diverter valve there in the middle. You will reuse the stock bolts. It's exactly the same shape. And then you've got your spring. Now, unlike a lot of other diverter valves, this only comes with one spring. There is some sort of scientific way that they explain it on the instructions, but I'm probably not going to go into that. But that is a good thing, you don't have to mess about with springs. You do have a little bolt here that goes in the middle, which can adjust the diverter valve itself. And you've got your vac line attachment there. And then this is just a setup tool. This is just to keep the spring compressed while you put it in. Once it's in, you then take this out. You've obviously got your piston and a little cap there. Okay, so with it all out, if you look in the instructions, it gives you an exploded view like this. This is the order you would put it together. So turn it over, this little cup sits flush inside on top of there. Then the spring can go in on top, and then you've got your piston going in last on top of the spring. As you can see, this does move up and down like that. So because the piston is free to move up and down, it would be a pain in the arse to get that onto the turbo. So just give you a little insulation tool. This will go all the way through the middle. And if you press the spring, you can screw that into the piston like so. It will stop obviously because it can't go all the way through the piston. It's only threaded on the inside, so once you feel it stop, don't try and force it anymore. Then you've got a little brass fitting for your vacuum line and a little O-ring there. This one goes into the smallest one, so if you're looking at it like that, it'll be on the left. Screw it into there. Again, this doesn't need to be very tight. It does have an Allen key slot in the top, but just do it up so it's snug. Like so. And then this will be your adjustment screw, which replaces the setup screw there. So once this has come out, you can screw this in, and this just adjusts the aggressiveness of the diverter valve. So with that all fitted up, let's go get it in the car. So fitting the new Recirc valve is basically the opposite of taking the stock one out. I started with the easiest bolt first in the top left corner, just to hold it in position. I didn't tighten any of the bolts up fully until they were all installed. Next up is the top right bolt, and just like removing the stock one, it's just many little turns of the ratchet, but it does get there eventually. And finally, the bottom bolt can go in. Like I've mentioned, this bolt is the hardest to get to, so I left it till last to make it easier. Once the last bolt was in, I went ahead and tightened all the bolts up before removing the installation tool. Just using a Phillips screwdriver to loosen it and then pulling it out by hand. The adjustment screw can then go in. I did it all the way up, then backed it off one full turn, but it's up to you how you want to set it up. Okay, so just off camera, because it's obviously the reverse of taking it all off, I've got the vac line back on and the plug back in, and put the vac line onto the new diverter valve as well. So that is all ready to go. I have just given it a quick test, and even just low revs while stationary, it does flutter nicely. So, but I'll try and get some driving clips of it on full boost and get the full effect. We'll get the wheel back on quickly, and then we can go for a quick drive. So that is the GFB diverter valve installed. I am super happy with it. It sounds way better than the original. The flutter is great, it's really loud, it boosts really well. The install wasn't too bad. Obviously making that Allen key is essential to fit in that. You're not going to get in there with any other kind of Allen key. I hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know what you think down below in the comments. Please subscribe if you haven't. Thank you very much for watching.